Good morning, students. We are starting with the community topics and we are going to deal with the unit 4 and the topic is epidemiology. So we'll see the introduction. The term epidemiology is derived from the Greek word epidemic. Epic means among or upon. Demos means study, population or people, and logos means scientific study. So here epidemiology means we are going to study about the population or people with the help of scientific studies, that is by doing some special findings or research based on nursing. So it is a scientific study of the disease pattern in human population. In broad sense, it is the study of effects of multiple factors on human health. It is multidisciplinary subject involving those of the physician, biologist, public health experts, health educators, etc. So here mainly we use epidemiology to study about the disease conditions in the human, and we mainly try to know the reasons why those disease conditions are occurring, what are the patterns, what are the causes, and how can we treat them. And with the help of those we try to eradicate those diseases. Eradicate word means we are going to finish it, totally remove from the main root. Then we'll see the definition. So here is the definition. The study of the distribution and determinants of health related states or events in specified population and the application of the study to control of health problems. So we are including all the health distribution, that is geographical areas, and determinants, that is some aspects like biological aspects or determinants, spiritual determinants. Those things we are using in order to know about the health issues in the people, and we try to control them or we try to prevent them. So this is the definition. Then we'll see the aims of epidemiology. It describes the distribution and magnitude of health and diseases problems in human population. So it is helping to know about the disease, that how far it has gone, that means how far it has spread in the human beings. Then what it's the magnitude means with what speed it gets affected, means affected in the people, that means people get affected with those diseases, and with those aims we try to find out them. Then to identify the etiological factors, that is risk factors in the pathogenesis of disease. So with the help of the epidemiology we try to know the risk factor, that means how those disease conditions get birth, that means how they are getting developed, how the man is getting affected by the disease. We try to know the reason behind those disease conditions. Then third is to prove the data essential to the planning, implementation and evaluation of services for the prevention, control and treatment of disease, and to setting up the priorities among those services. So when you are coming to know about the disease condition, how it is occurring and what are the causes, so our next step is to control. For controlling we need certain planning and then we need the implementation. So first we have to plan that how we are going to take steps for the control of those disease, and when we are done with the planning, then we are doing the implementation. Implementation means we are going to work on the people and we try to remove those disease, and after that we are going to do the evaluation. Evaluation means with our planning and with our implementation, how many people have received the good positive response in prevention, that means in removing of the disease. Control means limiting, that means stopping of the disease, and treatment of the disease. Treatment means that we try to protect the people from those disease conditions. So these are the aims of the epidemiology. Then we'll see the epidemiological triad. So this epidemiological triad, you can say it is a cycle. Mainly it is in the triangular shape, triangle. that is interconnected to each other. Mainly we make epidemiological triad in a triangle shape. This triad word itself is a three-corner diagram, and which is triangle. So the first epidemiological triad is agent. Agent means the person who affects. In that it is biological, chemical, physical, nutritional, social. So these means these agents are the things that are causing disease in humans. That is biological conditions, that means nature, chemicals that are coming out of the factories, physical means own human body, nutritional means when people is malnourished, social means people around us when they don't cooperate. So these are the agents that cause people diseases. Then we'll see the host factor. Host factor means the person who carries the disease, or the person who who helps the disease to develop in themselves. So these host factors are age, sex, hereditary, nutrition, occupation, custom, habits, immunity power, biological, blood sugar, cholesterol, housing, marital status, socioeconomic status. So host factor is the person who's helping the disease to develop. You can take for example, one example is protein energy malnutrition. Mainly the children gets affected with the protein energy malnutrition. So the cause of protein energy malnutrition is deficiency of protein and fat in the children. So that means when the children is not taking proper amount of protein and fat, so we are going to see the protein energy malnutrition in the children. So the child who is having protein energy malnutrition is the host, and this protein energy, that is deficiency of protein and fat, is the agent that is causing protein energy malnutrition. Now we'll see the environmental factors. So environmental factors are physical, biological and psychosocial. Environmental factors means the things that are supporting. So I have given you the example of protein energy malnutrition. In that protein energy malnutrition, protein that is deficiency of protein and fat is your agent. Then the child who is carrying this disease is a host, and the physical appearance, that means body, this body is a environmental factor that is supporting to the protein energy malnutrition. So this is the three epidemiological triad. Then we'll see the epidemiology approach. Epidemiology approach means when you are going for the survey and you are trying to know about the disease condition, how these things you are making, or how you are going to approach with the things. So mainly epidemiological approach includes 2 points, that is asking questions and making comparisons. So in asking questions, obviously you are going to interrogate, you are going to ask questions how the things are occurring and what are the causes. So let's see. Asking questions, that is activity based on the given article, that is you are going to ask questions on what is the event or problem. So whenever you are going to meet in a community setting, you can take you can take your example. When you went for the community setting, you have asked to the peoples what are their problem. So this is your epidemiological approach. You are going to ask what is the problem. Then obviously people are going to tell you what are the health status. Then what is the magnitude? Magnitude means with how much frequency or with how much speed they are spreading. You can take for example corona. When you are getting in contact with the patient of the corona, it is easily transferable from the one person to another. That means your corona has a high magnitude of spreading of the disease. Then where did it happen? Where did it happen means with what situation you have come that you have caused the disease condition in yourself. So that you have to ask. Then when did it happen? But duration of the disease. Who are affected? Who else is affected with the disease? Then why did it happen? Means how it has cause in that person. For corona, mainly when people get contact with the corona, then people get affected. So here, why did it happen? When you get contact. So these are the certain questions we are going to interrogate when we are coming across the epidemiological approach. Then we'll see next questions related to health action. What can be done to reduce the problem and its consequences? Then people will obviously, they will ask when you are going to interrogate, they will do a vice versa question to you, that how you can help them. So what can be done to reduce the problem and its consequences, how it can be prevented in the future, then what action should be taken by the communities, by the health service, by other sectors, where and for whom these activities be carried out, what resources are required, how far the activities to be organized. So these are the certain questions that will be taking place on based of your questions, that how you can totally remove the disease, or how you can treat the disease, what are the further prevention controls can be taken to stop the spread of the disease. Then we'll see the second thing, making comparisons, how you are going to compare the two things. So there may be comparisons of the two or more groups, that is you can compare either between two things or two or more. There may be comparison between communities or regions or genders. Communities means one, you can take for example state comparison, cities comparison, countries comparison. So that comes in the communities. Regions means areas, or genders means male and female. Before comparison, we need to consider the comparability, as is control and cohort studies will be discussed later. So mainly we make comparisons to know the better and which situation it is having more disaster. Then we'll see the basic measurements in epidemiology. Why you need the measurement? So mainly we measure the epidemiology to know the disease rate. So these measurements are, what are the basic measurements in epidemiology? We'll see here. Measurement of mortality, I have already told what is mortality, that is death rate. Measurement of morbidity, that is sickness rate. Measurement of disability, then measurement of presence, absence or distribution of the characteristics or attributes of the diseases. Then measurements of medical needs, healthcare facilities utilization. Measurements of the presence, absence or distribution of the environmental and other factors suspected of causing the disease. Measurement of demographic variables. So for these reasons we are using epidemiology. Always it is the main study in the whole nation to know the count, that how many people are getting sick, how many people are dead. That is the year census you can take, which helps to know the population of the country. For this we used to have epidemiology. Then for this measurements we use certain tools. So here are the tools of measurement. So mainly there are three tools. First is rate, ratio and proportion. So we'll see the first one, rate. A rate means the occurrence of some specific event in a population during the given time period. For example, death rate is equal to total number of death in 1 year by mid-year population into 1000. So mainly we use the rate to know how much it is occurring and in which year. You can see whenever there is a rainy season, so there are more chances of getting skin infection. That means there are more infections when there is a rainy season. That is, it mainly happens in those specific time periods. So that is the rate you are going to count in particular time duration, only those things are happening. Then we'll see the ratio. Ratio means the relationship of size of two random quantities. Numerator is not component of denominator. Ratio is equals to x by y. Example, sex ratio, doctor, population ratio. Mainly we take ratio to know the comparisons and to see the differences. Mainly it is done between the two random quantities, either male or female. And then it has given here doctor, proportion. Whenever we do the ratio, we use this measurement ratio scale. We try to know whether they are overcoming it or not. You can take for example, whenever there are students allotted in the hospital to serve the patients, mainly there is a count of the patient and the student ratio, whether they can whether the patient can take help of the students or not. According to that ratio, we divide each students in the ward. That is what ratio is. Then we'll see the proportion. Proportion is ratio which indicates a relation in the magnitude of a part of whole. The numerator is always part of denominator, usually expressed in percentage. So mainly we see proportion as a part of something. So this helps to know that you can see here, whenever there is a particular group of people are affected, we try to know that out of how much people those people were affected. So these tell us that if the people are affected 25%, that means 75% people are safe. So this proportion is helping to know the amount of people that can be saved from the disease condition. Then we'll see the measuring disease frequency. This measuring disease frequency is helping us to know that how randomly the disease occurs and what is the incidence rate. That means in how many population those things are happening, that is sickness or death rate. So we'll see here incidence and prevalence. These are fundamentally different ways of measuring disease frequency. Then the incidence of disease represents the rate of occurrence of new cases arising in a given period in a specified population, while prevalence is the number of existing cases, old plus new, in a definite population at a given point in time. So here the incidence is what the new things are occurring. You can see in a day, you can see in the news whenever there is a new corona patients are detected, you can see in the news channels that they show the number of people in a day. Every day update you are getting that in one day these many people were affected, next day these many people were affected. So this is the incidence, fresh ratio or numbers you are getting to know. And prevalence is total they are doing, that is old and new, that is till now how much people are affected in India you can know when you are counting day by day. So total when you are doing, that is the prevalence rate. See here incidence, number of new cases occurring in defined population during a specified period of time. Incidence is equals to number of new cases during given period upon population at risk into 1000. So as I have given you the example of corona, when people are getting affected with this COVID-19, each day there is a new cases people are detecting. So this each day new cases are known as incidence rate. Then we'll see the prevalence. Prevalence is total number of existing cases, that is old plus new, in a defined population at a particular point in time or specified period. Prevalence is equals to total number of cases at a given point of time upon estimated population at time into 100. So your prevalence is total number, that is they show the old and new together, that is from the day 1 to the day end how many people are affected they will be telling you. So this is the prevalence rate. So today we have seen the introduction in epidemiology, then we have seen the definition by J.M. Last, then we have seen the aims, what are the aims it is serving, then we have seen the epidemiological triad, that is agent, host and factor, then we agent, host and environmental factor, then we have seen the epidemiological approach, that is asking questions and making comparisons. Then we have seen the tools of measurements, that is rate, ratio and proportions. Then we have seen the measuring disease frequency, which includes incidence and prevalence. That's all for the today's class.